What's up, YouTube? It's your man Sean over here at Eye on You TV coming through with another one. Today, we're going to try to help free an innocent man brutally shot 13 times by the Chicago police and framed for murder, and followed by a cover-up. This man is Lamar Cooper, and this is a true and accurate account of a real-life occurrence. On a brisk fall morning of September 28, 2008 at 5:30 a.m., Lamar Cooper, a lifelong Chicago native of the Southeast Side, was a devoted husband and loving father. He was attempting what millions of us do on a routine basis. He parked his car in front of his home to go in and join his dear wife and loving family. Unfortunately, a more sinister welcoming lurked. Upon arrival, Mr. Cooper was ambushed by two unknown and identifiable male assailants, both whom produced small semi-automatic weapons. Without warning, the assailants began firing. A hail of bullets fired back and forth. As a result, Mr. Cooper was savagely and brutally shot 13 times. On the fringe of death, one gunman lay dead and a mysterious crime scene remained. Moments after this horrific attack, a police sergeant of the 4th District, Ralph Wilson, arrived on the scene in a blue and white squad car in full uniform. Wilson immediately exited his vehicle and, aiming his weapon at the remaining gunmen, shouted orders, "Drop the gun and get on the ground." While Sergeant Wilson was shouting orders and expectives at the gunman, he was unaware that Cooper was just feet away inside his bullet-riddled car, clinging to life. The assailant, hoping not to get shot by Wilson, was screaming and pleading desperately to identify himself as a police officer. The pleading assailant was in plain clothes. Later at Cooper's trial, he testified that he had to reach under his shirt and on his waistband to show his concealed badge to the responding sergeant. As it turns out, the two attackers were Chicago police officers. The sergeant had no knowledge or any visual clues to this effect. Obviously, neither did Cooper. These attackers had no warrant, nor did they have any deconfliction protocol where they notify each other's district to avoid mishaps and loss of life such. Sergeant Wilson testified at Cooper's trial that he was 3 to 6 feet from the gunman with his gun pointed at him, not knowing he was a CPD officer, nor was notified by any operations in his district at this time. These gunmen had no backup, no supervisor at the scene. There were no police identifiers at the very least. This was very suspicious. These two gunmen were from across town from Chicago's West Side, notorious 11th District, Homan Square. The 11th District is known for corruption, robbery, kidnapping, extortion, and shakedowns of drug dealers. They also shake down law-abiding, tax-paying citizens. They are known for conspiring to murder fellow non-corrupt officers who cooperate with the federal authorities. These assailants were black men in all black community, dressing and acting like common criminals. They gave no indicator that they were CPD officers. Court documents showed that the deceased gunman had no police hat, jacket, bulletproof vest, badge, cuffs, or anything that said police. They also admit to approaching this in a civilian rental car. They also was dressed in t-shirt and blue jeans, according to the testimony. Shortly after the sergeant took control of the scene, the ambulance arrived. Paramedics were told on the chaotic scene that there was an officer down after receiving calls of two people down. Upon seeing the deceased gunman on the ground, he had to ask the police on the scene, "Was the man on the ground a police officer?" The paramedic later testified and at Cooper's trial that he did not recall seeing a badge around the neck of the downed man on a chain. Nor did he recall seeing one in the ambulance in transport to the hospital. The paramedics told that the initial 911 calls they received said person shot. Another call said person down. Further indication that none of the callers knew or conveyed that they are police officers. The downed police officer's wounds were to his head and chest. I asked, why was this chain still intact later? Paramedics are trained to cut everything off as they did all of his clothing. The chain would have to be needed to be cut off while paramedics provided first aid. So I'm gonna end this just like that, YouTube. In this series of videos, I plan to provide facts about the Chicago police, especially in that area. The corruption, I will demonstrate the corruption and everything like that they've been involved in. And I hope my audience gives me some help, because this brother needs to be free. He fighting his frame. Like, share, and subscribe to IOU TV. It's the greatest channel in the world. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay away from the crooked police.